This is Natural Powerlifting Radio. Deadlifts, chicken nuggets, video games. This is Check My Total, a powerlifting podcast with Timothy Payne and Andrew Hinson.
Welcome everybody to another episode. Today is just me and your boy Andrew, and today we're going to talk about the importance of having a powerlifting handler at your meet. But before we get into that, and to talk about another kind of meet, how'd you do on the 14-day vegan challenge?
I did it all 14 days.
Yeah?
Every single one of them.
And what's your first thoughts?
It was interesting. It got a little difficult towards the end because I was just eating the same meal over and over. Because I didn't go to the grocery. I didn't buy enough food at the grocery store. So I was like eating the same meal over and over for like the last 3 days.
Right.
But it was good. I learned some things. I broadened my cooking abilities.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I do think I felt a little better on it.
That's good. Well, I want to send a shout out to Becca too, because she did all 14, didn't she?
Yeah, she ain't here right now, but we'll have to do a podcast with her on to get her opinion.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad both of y'all did it, because I ain't gonna lie, I lasted 9 days.
9 days.
9 days, and then we went to North Carolina for nationals, and it was all over.
Man, what was your first meal back?
I want to say we stopped at McDonald's because we came down. Ashley and I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and drove down Thursday. So I think we went to McDonald's and I got like a McGriddle or something.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's on the money.
Yeah. So, we were on the road and then, still on the road because we stayed in a hotel Friday night.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just ate junky that whole weekend.
I liked it. I think I learned that I can make some pretty good dishes with egg rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, egg rolls where it's at.
You can make a burrito with just about anything too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I do think I felt a little better. I think my performance increased in the jiu-jitsu and in the gym. I wasn't as sluggish and stuff. So
yeah.
I enjoyed it. Now, some of that could have been because I also cut out eating fast food.
Yeah,
so
probably
that that was some of it too. But it was a good experience. I found the best almond milk. Like, I've discovered that I will only drink Almond Breeze with the pink 30 sticker on it.
So what's that 30 supposed to mean?
It's unsweetened and it's vanilla flavor.
Ah.
That's the only thing that I'll drink. Cause the Silk brand, it has an aftertaste of straight up dirt. It's like going outside and eating dirt, man. I'm not doing that.
Well, I know you also said it's good to get unsweetened if you're like making shakes and stuff because it makes it too sweet.
Yeah, I got sweetened once, and it was a little bit too much for me. I was like, it was just way too sugary for milk.
Yeah, once you add your berries and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was not very good. So I got unsweetened vanilla flavor, and I'm telling you, this Almond Breeze, man, I think it's from the same people that make the blue diamond almonds, that company.
Okay.
And, man, I'm telling you, that is the creamiest almond milk that I've ever had. I think it's just as creamy as normal dairy milk.
I don't know if I've ever tried it. I think I've only ever had the Silk.
Yeah, I'll never drink Silk again, man. I'd rather go outside and put my face inside of a sand pit before I drink Silk again. That's a terrible brand.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're actually going to get started up Monday and try to, do the 5 days a week plant-based thing and eat what we want to on the weekend. in moderation. You can't blow it out on the weekend or you just screw up your whole week. But
yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is something similar. I think I might
3 days or something.
I think I might start out trying to do maybe every other day.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
But I don't know. I enjoyed it. I will say my first meal back was crickets, and man, it tasted so good.
Well, I know Becca posted a picture. Y'all went to a new chicken tender place?
Wait. Oh, we went to a restaurant called Sam's in Decatur. It's one of her favorite restaurants. It's
okay. So not a new spot.
No, it's not a new spot, but they got this really good chicken. And they got, yeah, I don't really know how to explain their chicken. It's fried in a way that I've never seen fried before. I don't really know how to explain how they bread their chicken. It's very unique.
I've got a question to ask you because her caption was best chicken or best chicken tender. So are you still with Big Shakes or are you with Sam's?
Well, I personally prefer the heat options at Big Shakes.
Okay.
Because it's hot chicken. Sam's is just regular chicken. But I will say, if you put a Big Shake's original chicken tender or a Sam's chicken tender, I'd probably go with Sam's.
For the OG. Just straight up chicken tender.
Yeah, for the straight up chicken tender, I'd probably go for Sam's. But I think the flavor of the hotter options at Big Shakes are just really good and really flavorful.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't knock on you for doing crickets as your meal back. That place is really good.
Yeah. Plus, the Sam's is it's a higher end chicken tender. Like you're going to end up paying probably my meal was $12.
Okay.
But
I got you.
It was really good.
Yeah. Well, you ready to get into this podcast?
Yeah, I guess we'll go deeper into the vegan life later.
Yeah. So, like I said, at the beginning, we're going to talk about handlers today. So, for anybody that doesn't know what a handler is, it's somebody that accompanies you to your competition, and it's kind of self-explanatory. They just handle you all day. So, they might carry your bag. They'll turn your next attempts in for you. They'll probably be your lift-off man and your knee wrapper.
Mm-hmm.
The handler has all kinds of different jobs just to make the day easier for whoever's lifting.
Yeah, basically you're like a caddy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
You're basically a caddy. So yeah, I mean, I think to get into it, to start off, I think a handler is very helpful for someone who has never been to a competition.
That's true.
And I think if your handler can have some experience, and has been to a competition and you haven't, I think that's a huge deal. And possibly it might be, because it depends. Like for me, the only reason I would need a handler now is to wrap my knees or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty good with, scheduling when I warm up and stuff and all that jazz. But it is kind of nice, I guess if you don't feel like looking at the flight board or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely a case-by-case kind of thing, just depending on your personality. But it is nice not to have to think about anything all day. Like your handler will make sure, like Andrew said, that you're back there warming up. For example, if you're in the second flight squad or something and, the first flight's on their second attempts, it's probably a good idea for you to start warming up. So your handler would be like, come on, let's go warm up type of deal. Or if you take a long break between squat and bench press, your handler can get you back on time to go warm up. As far as the giving your next attempts thing, like I said, if you don't get crazy with it, that doesn't bother me too much. Like whipping out your phone and spending your whole 60 seconds to figure out your next attempt.
Yeah.
I don't really like that too much, but they can help you figure out your next attempt. Just don't take forever.
True. So I really think
go ahead.
a handler's first priority is to make the lifter's life the easiest possible.
Yes.
To take
Yes.
as much outside stress away as they can. And you'll see handlers go and sometimes get a meal or something for the lifter.
Right.
They'll go out and buy some food for him so he doesn't have to leave the competition venue and go out and get in a car and drive somewhere. So they'll get him food. They'll kind of handle anything gym bag related, chalk and if you sniff that ammonia,
Right.
they'll handle that too. But I really think it's beneficial if you're new to the competition zone, or if you have the personality type of I don't want to do anything today but get on the platform and lift, and I don't want to worry about anything. And if you're easily stressed out in a competition environment, which a lot of people are, I mean, then it's good to have a handler. Me personally, it's not really my thing unless I needed some knee wraps.
Yeah, and from where I won't say we grew up in it because you were still kind of young being in the powerlifting game. Like going to a meet for us is almost like, just going to our house or something. It's so second nature to where Andrew and I, we don't get stressed out being on a platform or anything.
Yeah.
Even if we are trying to hit huge numbers. But I can totally get it, being an outsider and you're not really involved with the whole meet process, how it's set up, and knowing whoever your directors are, whoever's even throwing on the meet. It can get stressful. So, like Andrew said, your handler just trying to make your day a little bit easier.
Yeah. I'd say another thing that can help with a handler is if let's say someone drops their attempt or someone bombs out or the order of the flights get changed, that can throw you for a doozy if you think you're 5 out, but now you're like 3 out or something.
And to even cut it even closer than that, if something happens on the platform, whether the guy before you like dumps the weight or something happens to where you're not going to step on the platform right after the other person leaves, your handler can pace you as far as trying to get your knees wrapped and all that. Because a lot of times, you're sitting there wrapping your knees while the other person's lifting. But if your handler can see that, oh crap, this guy just dumped the weight, it's going to take the platform, 2 minutes to get the weight off the ground and back in the rack. We probably need a weight to wrap your knees.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you run audible and unwrap your knees and then wrap them again.
Exactly.
But anyways, a lot of that stuff your handler can catch to where you can just focus on lifting.
All right, so if we start at the beginning of the day, this is what an A+ handler or caddy will do for you. You're gonna walk in as a lifter, and you're not gonna have anything in your hand. Your caddy's gonna have it. He's gonna have your gym bag and your waters and your cooler, or whatever you got. And the only thing you're gonna do as a lifter is you're gonna show up, tell the people you're there, go weigh in because you have to weigh in, and then from there your handler takes over. And if they have the flights posted, the handler will go read it and figure out when you lift and kind of start scheduling the timing of your warm up. And it's kind of just you're in your zone at that point. But I would say an A+ handler in the warm up area will do a couple things for you when you're warming up. He'll not only help you as far as timing goes to make sure you don't warm up too early or too late and you end up going up cold, but your handler will also help load the plates on the bar for you.
And they'll also kind of regulate how you should go about your warming up too. Make sure you're not doing too much weight or moving too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure that you're resting and taking your time, getting warmed up, breaking a little sweat. They'll load the bar for you. On unless you just really want to lower the bar, then you can do it yourself. But some people just want to focus on the movements. They don't want to really worry about picking up weight or taking weight off.
Yeah, because I know sometimes even lifters, after they've had a few meets under their belt, you'll get so like jacked up and get your adrenaline running where you're starting to warm up is that you don't take time to rest because you're thinking, I only got 10 minutes to warm up when really you got longer than that. But I know it's easy to get caught up in, I got to move fast. There's people behind me that need to warm up too. Got to move quick. The meet's about to start. So yeah, as the handler, your job is just to calm them down, make sure they're moving at a good pace.
Yep. My rule of thumb is, let's say, well, it's a little different if you're in the first flight, but because I've always been in the second or thirds, but my thing is generally towards the end of the first flight, or it depends. At the end of the first flight, I might go back there and start stretching or just like moving my body, walking a little bit, or laying down, moving my legs a little bit, because I'm a little tight in the mornings, and that's generally when the competitions are.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the mornings. If competitions were like 6 at night, I probably wouldn't have to like stretch or like just lay out or anything because I'm pretty good, but a little bit tighter. And then, halfway through the second flight or a little before, I'll start actually doing some movement. So depending on who you are, your handler will know you well enough to know if you're the person that likes to take a long time to just lay on the ground and, do some tiny stretches, or if you don't need that, or whatever the case will be.
Yeah. I think the most important job for a handler is knowing how to wrap your knees for you and knowing how to lift off the bar on the bench press. Because I don't know how many people listening to this have been at a meet or really just up in the gym and you ask a rando person to give you a lift off. And man, that can throw you so off your game, and it's not fun to have a bad lift off in a competition when you're trying to hit a big PR.
Yep.
So it's definitely good to have somebody with you, which they might not necessarily be handling you all day, but it's good to have your own lift off person just so you're not thrown way out of whack. Somebody that you've done reps with before.
Yep. Yeah, your handler needs to be someone that knows you on a personal level.
Yep.
And I would say another thing that as far as warming up goes is whoever your handler is needs to make sure that you're warming up and not actually doing a workout.
That's true.
They need to make sure that you're just breaking a sweat and getting your body used to whatever movement, like a squat or something, and not actually doing a squat workout. Because I can't tell you how many times I've seen in the warm-up area where people start doing like a workout. Like,
yeah,
ridiculous.
I think I've told this story on the podcast before, but we had a gentleman come to one of our meets who was lifting in the second or third flight. And the lifters meeting gets over where you go over the rules and everything. We say, all right, first flight, you may start warming up. And this guy starts warming up. I'm like, well, sir, because, I've never seen him before. I figure it's his first competition. He doesn't really know what's going on. So I notice him warming up. I go over there and talk to him. I said, sir, you're in the second or third flight. You don't have to start warming up yet. I don't want you to get worn out, get all tired and exert all your energy. And he goes, no, it's okay. I need 2 hours to warm up. So at that point, I just kind of, I didn't. It's hard for me to control my face, so I probably did grin. But, I'm trying to be nice to him. I'm like, okay, basically do your thing. And I just kind of walked off. But that's exactly what Andrew just said. This guy was doing a full workout, which really your full workout doesn't need to be 2 hours. But anyways, he was doing a full workout before the meet even started. But that's a whole nother podcast, is how to warm up. And I think we've done a podcast on it already.
Probably, yeah. It's ridiculous the amount of people you'll see actually doing a workout.
Yeah.
But so now you your warm-up session's over, and now it's time for you to go to the platform. And this is when your handler comes in handy with your knee wraps. And this is why you need to grab someone you know, because people wrap their knees different ways.
Different tightnesses and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, some people like it really tight. Some people don't. Some people like the crisscross, put X's.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has their different way of wrapping, and and it also varies. I don't think I've seen this very often, but I've heard of people doing this. Which I don't think this is a great idea, but some people use different knee wraps throughout the competition.
Yeah. That kind of goes back to the geared lifting. Like a lot of people will do their opener. Talking about geared lifters, they'll open in one suit or one bench shirt and then switch to like a newer bench shirt that has more pop out of it.
Yeah.
Because, like I just said, it's got more pop. So the same kind of thing with your knee wraps. A lot of people, which like you said, I ain't really noticed it lately, but people will use their knee wraps that they're used to, working out with every week. Well, if you're using your knee wraps every week, they do lose some elasticity or whatever that word is. They do lose their pop. So yeah, you'll do your opener in those and then move to maybe a fresh new pair of knee wraps. That way they're a little bit stiffer and you get more rebound out of them.
Yeah.
Now it could throw you off your game, but if you're used to it or know what's coming, I guess you're fine.
Yeah, I guess you've been using the same brand of knee wraps forever, and
right,
you're used to feeling them when they're tight and when they're loose and stuff.
But man, yeah. so many people are moving to knee sleeves. I don't even think people care about getting a bounce out of them anymore, which doesn't make sense to me as a competitor, but a lot of people like them knee sleeves.
Hey, but let me tell you about those knee sleeves, though. It's the same thing. If a new brand comes out and they're like, oh, we have the biggest pop and tightest sleeve, dude, people start yapping on that, too. People start spending money. I'm telling you, the sport's full of cheaters.
Yeah. Have you ever had your handler help line you up on a squat or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I know that's another thing your handler can help you do. Make sure you're lined up right.
That's true.
On the deadlift, I guess they can just hold your ammonia out for you. And then it's all up to you after that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, there ain't much to the deadlift.
Yeah. But as a handler, you're kind of just, it's better to be seen or not. How am I trying to word this? You don't want to take the attention away from the lifter as the handler. You just want to be in the background. Which, if your lifter gets off on you screaming and yelling and like smacking them in the back and stuff, that's fine. But I think the best handlers are the ones that kind of are quiet and in the background. Like the lifter is the main focus, and that's who the focus should be on, not yourself. So don't be somebody's handler just to try to go up there and get a little glory for yourself.
Yeah. I would also throw this in. Your handler, depending on the meet and depending on your competition, or if you're out to win or beat a rival or something, the handler should be keeping up with some numbers in the background. If he knows that you want to beat a certain person, or you have a little rivalry going on, or you're trying to take first place or something, and he knows that you can do it. Like, it's one thing if you got to deadlift 800 pounds and your max is only 500. Then that's one thing. But like, if your max is, if the most you ever pull is 585, but you could come in first place by pulling 590 or something, then your handler might want to bring that up or something, let you know that if you want to take first place, this is what you got to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. Your handler keeping up with other people's numbers, and also keeping up with records. And for example, if you're trying to hit elite and you got to know what to do for your last deadlift, your handler already knows that number to where you don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a great point. And I didn't even think about that, keeping up with numbers and things, stats.
Get those calculators out, boys.
Yep. And depending on what kind of competitions you go to, even doing the kilo to pounds conversion.
That's true.
We don't really worry about that in Iron Boy, but that's probably another big thing.
That is very true.
Yeah, they can just spit you out the conversion, or they're the ones in charge of the chart, not you as the lifter.
Yeah, gotta do that kilo math.
Yeah. But yeah, as the lifter, you want to be hands free, and as the handler, you want everything in your hands.
That's right. You want to be the caddy.
The caddy.
So I mean, I've also heard that some meet, they don't even let the handler or lift-off partner do the lift-off anymore.
Mm-mm.
They got to get a certified lift-off professional.
But usually at those meets, they got somebody that knows how to lift off for people.
That's true. They better.
So yeah, so you might not be as messed up. I know USAPL, I'm guessing they still do that, but there would be a piece of tape on the floor, and your coach, I guess is what they call it, can't cross that piece of tape and get on the platform. So yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point, which this is a long time ago, and this is when I went to the national competition in Nebraska. I don't know if USAPL still does this or what, but my dad had to write down my attempts on a piece of paper and then turn my attempts in to a guy. And then the guy would put them in the computer.
Huh.
So I don't know if they still do that, or it's been a long time since I've been to a meet other than Iron Boy. But that's just another thing your handler does. He runs that piece of paper back and forth. Like I said, the whole point of being a handler is to handle and let your lifter cruise and do what they need to do for the day, which is lift.
That's right. The focus needs to be on the lift to make his life easier. That's all it comes down to.
Pretty much.
But oh, dude, I meant to ask you. Have you seen any of these reviews for the Outer Worlds?
No, but Kyle's been telling me about it. He's excited for it.
Apparently, it's really good. I mean, it's already out. But apparently, it is super good.
We went over to one of his coworkers' houses. I guess it was Friday night, but he has a whole arcade room. But he does the he's got an Xbox, but whatever Xbox's thing's called, not PlayStation Now, but whatever Xbox is, where you pay the $10 a month and get the games.
Game Pass.
Game Pass, there you go. Anyways, it's on Game Pass, the Outer Worlds or whatever. So he's been playing it and he's enjoying it a bunch.
Man, I hear it's pretty good.
And I heard PlayStation's thing is only $10 now, because wasn't it 20?
The Vue? Is that what it's called? Vue?
No, the PlayStation Now, where you it's not streaming, but where you download the games free every month. Not free, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I think that's knocked down to $10 now too, $10 a month. Which, when I play single player games, I rarely go back to them. Once I'm done with the campaign mode, I'm pretty much done with the game.
Yeah, I think it depends. Have you played a Fallout or Bethesda style Skyrim game?
No, I haven't.
They're a little different in that sense because you can play them so many different ways.
So kind of like Red Dead?
Even more.
Or you mean the campaign's different every time?
Well, yeah, depending on who you side with. Plus, there's different play styles. Are you a melee guy? Are you a energy weapon guy?
Yeah.
There's always different play styles, and it's really cool. But I kind of want to get it, but I ain't got no time.
Right. Because I almost wonder if it'd be worth doing the $10 a month. Like I said, because I recycle through games so quick, I don't replay them.
That's true. So. It is kind of hard to replay some games because some games you beat them and it's just kind of it.
Yeah, and then you're just sitting there with a disc.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for today. You got anything else on your brain?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm just I've just been busy the past couple of weeks. It's been crazy couple weeks.
Oh, I guess by the time this comes out, happy Halloween, everybody.
Oh yeah, happy spooky season to all the listeners.
Yep. I hope everybody was safe and got some candy. Went to all the trunk or treats. We're doing one at our church.
We had one yesterday, but I didn't go. I was too busy trying to do homework.
Trying to get that degree.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we'll have to do a podcast with Becca on the whole vegan challenge.
Yeah, man, I'm down. And
did Ashley and Kyle do it?
I don't think so. I think it was just me and you.
Man.
And then I wussed out. So, congrats, Andrew. You beat me this challenge.
Man, it was tough.
We're tied on the Check My Total challenges, 1-1.
That's true. We still got to figure out what we're going to do for the next Check My Total challenge.
Yeah. If you got any ideas, flop them in our DM.
That's true. Give us some ideas.
Because if you give us an idea, maybe other people want to join. And if you're giving us the idea, we hope you join.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you want to go ahead and break this
thing
let's close
down,
this one out, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the handlers, the golf caddy. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the handler is meant to handle everything from your insurance to your craps you take during the day. Make sure you got a clean bathroom stall that hasn't been used too much and abused too much, because your lifter needs a sanctuary to poop in after he eats all those chicken nuggets and craps out all those bricks from all the protein infusion that's going on during that meat, and infusing with the ammonia and the chalk going up his nose. Let me tell you, it's a vicious season in the powerlifting meets. Things are not sanitary in our world, but that's okay because we're lifting big and eating big. That's how we get strong, people. Get a caddy to support you in all your needs, support you through high school, and put the baby in the bottle. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in the next one.
We're out of here. Up next is the IBP Morganton Push-Pull in Morganton, North Carolina on November 9th. Come out to support the event, and for more information, visit ironboypowerlifting.com.
Please subscribe and thank you for listening. Be sure to follow @CheckMyTotal on Instagram for all the latest updates.